You're going to notice that a couple of things are starting to change. For one, yesterday, on Mondays for the last few weeks, we had been doing sort of a technical analysis of how everything was going. And I'm playing with the idea of not doing it on this platform anymore. I feel that those metrics don't really make sense, I guess, for people who are not as familiar with what we're trying to do here. And so I'm thinking that perhaps that is it's best left to a different format, I guess, or a different platform where it is for people who are actually interested in, those kinds of metrics and stuff like that. So that's one of the changes that I am, playing around with and trying to figure out like where it fits, where this might fit. Also, I'm going to be thinking about changes in our exercise regimen. So, because we are going to start doing our boxing class, and that's sort of what we were doing. I guess before I was doing the kettlebell swings, and that was twice a week. We're going to be doing our boxing class twice a week, and so I'm also experimenting with a change in that. See if we can keep things a little more interesting, see how I feel in terms of those changes. And so we're going to be doing the fit boxing class 2 days this week, and it'll be sort of different. So we're sort of stepping away from doing the exercise the way that we had been doing it on camera, like we have up until now, and see if that is interesting. See how we feel about that. But these are some of the changes that I'm thinking about, in thinking about how to present this in a better way. And then, of course, we're also sort of getting a little bit of a curveball thrown at us because since Laura is here, and she did come all the way from the States, and it's not a short trip, we had decided that we wanted to take a little trip because Laura's actually never been outside of Buenos Aires. She's been in Buenos Aires plenty, but she's never been outside of Buenos Aires. And so we decided that we wanted to go to Mendoza, which is the Argentinian wine country. And that it is kind of tricky because, again, we're traveling, and traveling has always been sort of tricky in terms of deciding, food and stuff like that. But it also presents an opportunity to start testing sort of the new systems, I guess, if we can call them that, for motivation and for making choices in terms of food. Also, we're going to be in wine country, so we will be drinking some wine. And, alcohol, as we all know, is not great for weight loss. But there are also plenty of experts, I guess, in the matter that, talk about how it can't be part of a weight loss program. And so, I don't know. I mean, I guess we will see, we'll try to navigate it as mindfully as possible. So that's going to be interesting to see that aspect of it. And since we're measuring everything, we will know like where it is affecting us and how it affected us when we come back and take a look at all the metrics and all that stuff. And so it's certainly going to be an interesting interesting next 2 weeks as we navigate these more difficult situations. I think my main focus is going to be trying to maintain a high level of awareness, I guess, of mindfulness when it comes to this. When it comes to, as we're going to be traveling, how much wine are we consuming? How much food are we consuming? Are we really trying our best to stay within the allowance for food, calories, carbs, all of that stuff. And so if we have a mindful approach as opposed to something that has happened in the past, which is we're sort of going, we're going to be doing like a little vacation. And then when you have a little vacation, that sort of throws you off and then makes you, it makes me, at least for me in the past, it made me want to abandon what I was doing and feel like, oh, fuck it, let me just do whatever I want and then we'll figure it out when we get back. And that's, that's a big thing for me, a big thing that we're going to try to be working on so that it doesn't become like a whole thing. We really only have 1 year. 1 year is not a lot, and we have over 100 pounds to lose. So if we really want to get there, and we really want to get there, we need to get a little more strict. And I guess this kind of pressure, this sort of like, countdown type situation, perhaps is a good strategy that I don't know that has happened, that I've had in the past. I've had situations like this before, but never to this sort of like high level. And so, again, we continue to see if, what strategies, what of these strategies actually work. And, and I think that is the right setup, at least right now. It's momentous enough. It's a date far enough in the future, and I'm, able to focus on that. But then at the same time, bringing it back to the day-to-day situation, applying a certain level of mindfulness to that is probably going to be key. And, we'll continue working on that. And so hopefully, this kind of stuff resonates with you. I guess if it doesn't, if this is frustrating, then it probably is because it is frustrating. And again, like I've said in the past few videos, I feel like there's more benefit to being open about this, even at the peril of being criticized for sharing this kind of stuff. I guess it doesn't always resonate with everyone, but it keeps me accountable and it keeps me honest about the process. It keeps me honest about how much I underestimate things and how much I don't know. And I think that happens to a lot of people where we sometimes get to a point, even if we've done this a million times, where we just don't know what to do. And just saying, well, you just got to try harder and be stricter and stuff doesn't always work. If it did, then we wouldn't be here. So this is my attempt at figuring out what kinds of strategies are working for me. They're not going to be the same ones that work for you, but what kind of strategies are going to work for me. And hopefully, one of the things that I'm trying to do with these videos is be able to document some of the mental processes and the emotional processes happening more in real time. That's been kind of tricky so far, and I'm going to be trying to do that as we sort of embark on this new journey of 200 by 40. So again, it's a work in progress, a work in process. I was going to say, it's a work in progress, and so like that it's going to be interesting to see. But again, I am trying to be more mindful when making these videos to see if I can show more of the decision making and sort of the mindset in a more real time as opposed to talking about it, after the fact. But it's hard. It really is tricky. I mean, like doing like a daily vlog, and today I started watching some videos and stuff like that to see like, how do people do the daily vlogs? Like, I don't quite get it. Like, I get the concept, and then it's like time to press record and I go, so what do I do? And so I think it's probably going to take a couple tries before we get to, for this, a couple tries before this becomes a little more fluid, I guess. And so that's something that I shall be focusing on top of, the stuff that I'm making, the little shorts that I'm making showing the food that I'm eating. Also, if you're interested in seeing all the stuff that I ate today, I'm not done eating, by the way, just quite yet as of the filming of this. But yeah, if you're interested, there should be a link in the description where you can go and see the stuff that I ate, and it probably won't take you more than like a minute, which again, is kind of what I wanted to do in order to organize that information. And so far, day 2, I do seem a little more encouraged by that process to share my food in a way that's a little more engaging and fun. And, you know, it's creating a little extra motivation to eat the right things. And so all of these things are starting to come into play to create the right system for me. And hopefully you'll be able to take away some things from this yourself. So thank you guys for another day. And so, yeah, this is day 2 of 200 by 40, although this is like day 160 something. I'd have to check, but this is good. I don't know. I keep doing weird things with my hands. Maybe it might be the lack of sugar. My brain is a little weird. So anyway, thank you guys. See you tomorrow.